Hey, what's going on, everyone? Happy Friday. Getting this launched here right now. I appreciate everyone waiting around, just making sure we're good to go on all the different platforms here right now. Got Instagram getting ready to rock and roll. As we are waiting to kick this off with Shaun, I'm just going to kind of start running through and highlighting some things on how I'm using Go High Level. So, as Shaun hops in, we will bring him on, but wanted to obviously appreciate everyone's time and at least get this kicked off. So, if you all have any questions throughout this presentation, I know we've had quite a few chats coming in so far and comments and things like that. Feel free to do so. I'll make sure that we can get to all the questions as we possibly can. But again, just waiting on Shaun to have him hop in here and we'll go from there. But in the meantime, I didn't want to waste any time, right? I know you all are busy. I know it's Friday, it's the middle of the workday. And a lot of people have asked me how I'm utilizing Go High Level and how I've utilized it over the last couple of years. And so, just to give you a little bit of a backstory, I was not going to consider myself one of the early adopters of Go High Level by any means, but back in 2020 is when I first got on the platform. And so it was when I was running an agency and doing all of that stuff, and we were using it for ourselves and we were using it for our clients and onboarding them. And then we kind of utilized it in the background for a little bit. We tried out Salesforce, we tried out HubSpot, we tried a lot of different things. Right now with Builders of Authority, we are running so much of our business on the back end of Go High Level. So I know there's a lot of different people that are in various different industries that are watching this live right now. You may be a marketing agency, you may be a coach and consultant, you may be a contractor or a home service company. I'm here to tell you that there's so many different ways in which you can use Go High Level in order to maximize your business or your community to get the most out of it. So we're going to dive through a variety of different things here. I'm going to share my screen in a second, and I'm going to show you specifically how I'm utilizing it. Now, you will see as it comes up that we do have a free trial of Go High Level. So if you are not on Go High Level already and you do want to test it out, there is a free and extended 30-day trial of Go High Level that you can give it a test try. You also get some additional bonuses from our Builders of Authority community, which includes a free month inside of the community. It also includes access to our course, a PDF, and a 30-minute onboarding call with my executive assistant, Lorna. From there, today and today only, I'm actually giving a free 30-minute one-to-one coaching session. So if you are available, we'll talk about it again at the end, but you'll also see the link as a pinned comment, as well as coming across the banner throughout the entirety. So I know we have quite a few different industries that are represented here. If you wouldn't mind just dropping where you're located and also what you do. So then that way I can kind of gear some of the session today specifically around those different types of businesses. Because again, Go High Level can be used in so many different facets. I'm going to show you how we use it and how some of our clients use it as well. So just a quick overview of where we're currently using it right now. So as many of you know, inside of our Builders of Authority community, we have a course. So we put together an entire course that typically a lot of people might use Kajabi, for example, which is a very, very popular platform to basically have a course that you can then go and from there have everyone go through the entire course. You can, sell it for money, which we've done. You can also give it away for free as a lead magnet, which has been an incredible platform that we've done and utilized it for. So like right now, for example, every single time I'm on a podcast, every single time I go and speak at an event, and even sometimes in our free community, we're giving away our 7-step to $1 million business with personal branding course away for free. So yes, you can make money from creating courses and doing all of those incredible things, but it's also a great way to just have a value add, have something that people can just take, and you get in exchange for that, you get their buy-in, right? They get some free content, you get their information, and then you can go sell more stuff to them. So our entire course is built out on Go High Level. So that's an easy place. Like if you're using Kajabi or doing anything else, you can replace that platform specifically with Go High Level. Now, from there, I know quite a few people that are chiming in and talking. Tim, Kaylee, Brad Starnes, quite a few of you came, Charles Marks came to our Builders of Authority live event, right? And so a lot of people ask me, hey, Adam, how did you build out the landing page? How did you connect everything in order to collect our payment? And then how did you have all the automations that came after the fact to be able to then go and collect all the information and get it all into a system and do all that incredible stuff? That was all Go High Level as well. So we've done that as well. Now we have gotten rid of Calendly as well. So it's been absolutely incredible. We have Shaun here, so I'm going to bring Shaun on real quick, and then we can kind of dive into some more stuff on how not only I'm utilizing it, but also we want to dive into Shaun's story and all the incredible information that he has to share with us. Shaun, how's it going?
How's it going?
Sorry, good, man. How are you?
Internet connection issue, but all solved now.
No, you're good. You're good. I think your volume is a little bit low.
Oh, is it? Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me check my mic here and just make sure I'm on the right microphone here. Maybe I'll just need to turn it up. Mic volume. How about now? Any better?
That's much better.
All
much
right.
better. Awesome. Well, Shaun, thanks so much for hopping on today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know a lot of people are excited. They want to understand a little bit more about Go High Level. Maybe they've been a user for years, or maybe they're wanting to test out a free trial, right?
Sure.
Talk to us high level. The kind of the topic for today is how to maximize your business with Go High Level. Talk to us high level about what Go High Level is.
Sure. We always think about it as an all-in-one sort of CRM, marketing automation, website builder. I mean, it has like 1,000 features, but the way we sort of think about it holistically is it's kind of everything you need to run your business all in one spot. So instead of having to buy 6 or 7 different apps and try to string them all together, fundamentally, it's just everything you need in one place. And we just sort of continue to grow that stack on the daily these days.
Awesome. And talk to us a little bit about the evolution of Go High Level, right? So I know you guys obviously been around for a while, but so many amazing things that you guys have done from your infancy to where you're at right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing we tackled was speed to lead, because what the businesses we met, they were generating leads through all kinds of things. Back in the day, it was all Facebook ads were just getting started, so they were all the rage. And you get these people would have these massive spreadsheets of leads, and then they would be really upset because none of those leads turned into customers. And if you really looked at what the heck was going on, they just weren't following up, or they weren't following up fast enough, and they weren't able to convert those leads over. So we started with that, and we used SMS at the time as our primary channel. And then from there, we just sort of realized, okay, what other things are people using? So we went up and down. So it was like, we added a funnel builder initially so we could help capture, because some people were using lead ads, some people were not. And then we moved them to the CRM, and then the opportunities board, and then the phone system, and on and on and on. And we've just kind of grown out since then. So these days, I could think of very few other products actually out there that have our feature set, because really what we did is we just kind of worked with our customer and moved along this path of, okay, so now what can we do to help you kind of continue to close that sale all the way to cash from that capture? So we say capture, nurture, close. Everything you need to capture, nurture, and close those sales.
Love it. One of the things that I admire about how you guys operate is you're a customer-centric organization, customer service from the start. So whether it's your Zoom onboarding and continuous support, or your involvement, right? Like I'm always so impressed by how many Loom videos you send out and put inside the community, and how you're answering questions. And I like to consider myself very good at time management for the most part, but I have no idea how you do it. Talk to us before we dive into some key features and things like that about what we want to talk about today. Talk to us about how important that is for you and why it's helped your growth as well.
Sure. So I think the first thing is like how we started the business. I think it's really important. We never saw ourselves as like the geniuses in the room. We really saw our customers that way. And so if you think that your customers, and in our case, we know our customers are the experts, then it's less about trying to think of like the whiz bang idea. It's more about trying to structure yourself to serve those people, take in their best ideas, and then get them built as soon as possible. So we've done that since inception. We have a public ideas list for our customers. They vote on the features. We use that ideas list to figure out the next features we're going to build. So it's a very customer-centric process that way. And then I've always believed that the best software in the world is irrelevant without great customer service. So since the beginning, we started with that in mind. And I think what we've tried to replicate with the live Zoom calls is, when you go to that in-store experience, I think there's something really magical about it. And we try to figure out how can we do that, digitally. And the Zoom experience is the absolute best version of that we found. And, I just think people like talking to other people. And so it's a great way to humanize support and personalize it, but also get that person a lot faster service than I think they would over tickets or chats or things like that.
Yeah, no, we've used it quite often over the years, and it's absolutely incredible. Also, how it's evolved, right? I remember you being on some of the initial calls, and I know a lot of people said, "Hey, I had my onboarding call with Shaun," and it was just so mind blowing that like you took that and really formed kind of the future of that customer service part to your business, which I think is a massive part as to why you all are so successful.
Yeah, I mean, I still talk to customers daily, and I love it, and I feel like I learn honestly more from them than they get out of me. I think it's the way that we think every day about our business, and I've always also felt like leadership comes from the top. So if I'm not willing to do something, how could I expect anybody else in my organization to do it? So I've always taken that attitude.
I love it. I love it. Well, we have quite a few people from various different industries, some people that are, again, using GHL, looking to use GHL. We do have a couple questions that are coming in. So we're going to do some questions as they come in, but I also want to hit on some 3 key topics. So just so you all know that some of the things that we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about the importance of turning leads into actual customers, making money, and how gohighlevel can help us do that. And then from there, also getting more leads. Talk about creating recurring revenue models, right? So think about some ideas, some questions you have, whether it's affiliate program, which is incredible with gohighlevel. I'm an affiliate. It's absolutely amazing. They have incredible support as well, resources available too. But there's also ways for you to product and systematize what it is that you are doing with gohighlevel to either sell it to more people, become an expert and an authority figure that we talk a lot about in Builders of Authority in your industry, as well as taking advantage of all the different tools that gohighlevel has to offer. So we'll talk about some key features. But Laura has a quick question. She's looking for an automated way to check out to automatically create an invoice and contract to be able to be printed for my customer.
Yeah, so we have documents and contracts now where you can do this, and you can create them out of workflows, and you can use custom values with them. So you can actually wire this up in the workflow builder. So definitely jump on with support, and they can help you do this. Also, a really cool part about that is we're going to introduce a 2-step version of the contract, so that when you can make it so that you sign the contract, and then without leaving the screen, it immediately advances to the invoice. So that will be coming out this quarter as well to help make that even more seamless.
I'm very excited about that. we've been using, I actually just sent out a contract right before this. So we've been using that contract feature, and it's amazing. And so I think like holistically, it's mind blowing how many tools that we think that we need to run our business that could just be done. And it doesn't matter if you're a marketing agency or you run a program in a community like we do, or you're a flooring company. Right? There's so many different ways and things to implement with inside gohighlevel. So talk to us. I think we can kind of start with that. There's so many different features.
Yeah.
How do you weed through all the noise? Because that's one thing that I talk to a lot of people about. They're like, Adam, gohighlevel is incredible. I just don't know where to begin.
Yeah. So I love to say, just pick one thing. And if you're getting started, you're probably going to get started on our lowest plan. So it's like, hey, all right, pick one thing that you feel like, okay, if I just get this one thing done, I'm getting more than $97 worth of value every month. So worst case scenario, I don't feel like I'm wasting my money. And realize that this is our feature set is not about dictating to you. It's about you building on top of it to find what you're looking for to create value for yourself. So you're going to move along that continuum relative to what you're looking for, not feel like you have to take it all on and do all of it. That's the worst. That's the worst feeling in the world. Don't think of it like that. There may well be, out of 1,000 features, you may someday really use 10, and some you may not even understand why they exist or what they do, and that's okay. Remember, we are building a product that works for almost every business out there, and so a lot of those features may not include you, and that's okay. They're just not useful, or maybe they're not useful this year. But what's great is if let's say you master the day-to-day of your business this year, and you decide, you know what I want to do? I want to go out and create a membership course and create a community around this. The good news is that'll be there for you next year when you're ready for it. So don't sweat it. Just start with one thing, two things, three things, just build it up.
Yeah. And I love the way that you answered that question, talking about just find one thing or maybe two things that you can utilize it for and start on that lower plan. And understand that if you were to go get those one or two things elsewhere, you're probably going to pay the same amount, if not more, elsewhere for Go High Level. Because that's one thing that I think psychologically, talking with a lot of people, they're like, yes, I understand that I have access to all of these tools, and I understand that it is very cost effective, but I feel like I'm not fully utilizing it. And I think people just need to understand that it's like, okay, you're eventually going to grow into more things.
Totally. 100%.
Yeah. What are some things that you see like consistently, like if there's just a couple of features that you're like, I know you kind of mentioned some earlier, but if you're like, hey, for the average business owner, if you could tackle X, Y, and Z, you're going to be able to leverage Go High Level more than you would be if you were just trying to figure out, where do I need to put this into play?
As much as things change, they stay the same. It's still speed to lead. So, when you capture, I would just ask yourself, like, when you capture a lead, how do you know 24/7, 365, 2 a.m. on a Christmas morning that you're going to get back to that lead in 5 minutes or less? And the answer for most of you will be, I have no clue, or I can't do it. And that's the first thing you want to tackle with High Level. You want to automatically respond to the lead. SMS still rules the day. And then think about what we're looking for. For most people, it's just the next step in the funnel. So a lot of people, that's an appointment booking. So it's just saying, hey, how do I make sure that when a lead comes in, they're getting a text that says, hey, Bob, thanks a lot for registering for my offer. Is now a good time to book an appointment? Bob says yes. You say, great, here's a link to my calendar. Grab a time that works for you. That right there, which takes all of 7 to 10 minutes to set up, will, for most businesses, light it on fire. Because the reality is that the vast majority of buyers are still going to buy from the person who gets back to them first. It's just psychology. We're all humans. This is how we work. And so that for most businesses is going to crush it. Because I think most businesses always think they need more leads. You ask like, oh, do you need more leads? And like, oh, of course I do. But if you ask yourself, what do you do when a lead comes in? If that's not figured out, it doesn't matter how many leads you have. That's a big hole in your bucket. You need to automate your nurture flow. So still, for almost every business, that is where I would start.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's one thing you mentioned with the leaky bucket is everybody is in this season where it's like, I want more, I want more, I want more. It's like, well, are you capitalizing on what you already have? Because more leads doesn't solve the process and system breakdown that you don't have a follow-up system in place. You don't know specifically what you need in order to get more leads, right?
100%.
We had a question come in. Oh, sorry, you're good.
It'll make it worse. I mean, because think about let's say you had 10 extra leads. All of a sudden, at some point, those people are going to feel like you're not paying attention to them. They might leave you a bad Google review, right? Yeah. So if you've got a system in place, you're going to crush it.
Absolutely. So Mike said, signing up through Adam's link right now. Love it, Mike. I appreciate that. I have an ongoing business and a new DBA brand to focus on targeted portion of my GC clients. Am I able to co-brand or have dual brands set up in GHL, one business and two brands?
Well, let's see. So a couple of ways to think about this. So if you can do it now at the sub account level. If you truly believe you need two Go High Level accounts, we do have that on the roadmap for this year. So that will happen. I would caution that, you really know you need that. I think it sounds great, but remember, it's sort of saying like, I have 3 jobs. The people I always met who had 3 jobs always had the least amount of money. And the people who had 1 job tended to make a lot more. And I think it's about focus. Not that it doesn't happen and all that, but from a sub account perspective, it's a cinch, because if you say like, I have 2 different businesses I run, you can do that. But if you're actually going out into the world and advertising as an agency, be cautious on that jump, and that you really know what you're doing. But we will absolutely have that feature out this year for that.
Love it. And Jordan had said they use sub accounts under your main account. We do this internally. So we have a sub account for our recruiting and hiring separate from our normal client.
That is a perfect example of a good use case for sure. Sub accounts.
Absolutely.
Or if you have multiple franchise locations or that kind of thing, or physical locations even, that's a very easy way to do that as well.
Absolutely. Laura said, can you share the GHL support information? I only have my affiliate info and would love a direct way to learn.
So when you sign up, you're going to get an email that says, click here to join a Zoom call right now. So if you missed that, then log in, and up in the top right-hand corner. Well, actually, now if you log in, there's a big window that pops up and you cannot miss it. And we're just screaming at you, please, please click here and talk to us. And then if you miss that, up in the top right hand corner, there's a blue question mark. You click that, it says join a Zoom call. Like there is a multitude of ways in which we try to make it very readily apparent. And I would say at this level, if you are not jumping in a call, it's because you don't want to, not because we're not making it obvious. But we, and if none of those work, go to speakwith.us/success. There's 1,000 ways to do this. But we are very, very, very into getting people into help and getting you on a Zoom call, because we know it's an incredibly important way to get you going with the software. Exactly.
Absolutely. And Laura, yeah, it's up here. So as you're logged into your account, just go need help.
Right there. You can't see, there's a button that just says it. And if you're a brand new customer, we actually make this even harder for you, because we don't even let you chat with us and stuff. We like force you into a call, because we just know the value of those calls is so important. We just, I mean, it's just simple. We watch people who take those calls and who don't. People who take those calls go on, they make a lot of money. People who don't take those calls don't make any money. Like they make like half the money. It's ridiculous.
Love it. So Tim said we used to use Act CRM.
Who knows what Act is? That I know what Act is, and I'm old.
I do not know that.
That used to be like the Salesforce of the desktop. Just FYI.
That's awesome. Does GHL do the same? We have switched to Target Pipeline for quoting opportunities, but it's web-based. Does GHL auto log emails, calls, texts, or does that have to be a manual process?
Well, so yes, it does auto log all of that stuff, and that's half the reason we built all of those things into the system. So a couple of things there. So on the email side, if you're using Google or Microsoft/Outlook for your email, we have direct integrations with all of those folks, and it will auto log all that. And then on the call side, you can call out of high level. So not only can you log all of that, you can do the call recordings if you want to. It's all housed underneath the person's contact record. So we make that super simple. And of course, these days, it's a lot more than calls and emails. It's also text messages, WhatsApp messages, Facebook messages, Google My Business or Google Business Profile, whatever they call it now, messages. I'm trying to think. There's got to be a couple other channels in there I've probably missed. But there continue to be more and more. It's a multi-channel world. So we log all of that stuff automatically and enable it inside the platform for you.
Love it. So I know you mentioned earlier kind of like recurring revenue streams. And I know that was a hot topic when I was asking people like, hey, what do you want to learn more about Go High Level? What are you interested in hearing from Shaun? So talk to us about like your best use cases of how people are just maximizing this platform, again, in order to create recurring revenue streams.
Yeah. So first and foremost, everyone has an audience, right? So you got to figure out who your audience is. So I don't care if you're a small business owner. I don't care if you're a course and coach creator. I don't care if you're an agency owner. There is a recurring business model for you. And all you really have to think about is, if you're a small business owner, I mean, what is it that we can sell on a recurring basis? I noticed that I used to pay pest control when I had pests. They would come out and they would take care of them. But now guess what? I'm on a monthly recurring plan with them. And you can enable that very easily in High Level. You can have, you can create plans. You can have automatic payments. You can do all of that stuff. So there's a great way as a small business owner that you can do that. If you're a course creator and a community, you can have communities as well now. You can do the same thing. You can sign people up for your courses and your communities on a recurring monthly basis, and you can charge them for that. If you're an agency, same concept. If you want to get into and what we love actually more than anything is people becoming SaaSpreneurs. And we think of this very much as taking the technology inside High Level, really putting your expertise behind it and creating that boxed product is the way I sort of think about it, where you can go out and say, look, small business owner, I'm going to sell you missed call text back, web chat widget on your website, and reputation management. Now, of course, you're not going to tell them any of that because that's really talking about tools. But what we're going to say is, I'm going to get you more customers, more 5-star reviews, and a higher rank on Google. Would you be interested in that? And the way you're going to implement that is with those technologies, and it's very simple. And what we mean by that is like this: if the business owner misses a call, we're going to automatically text back to the person who called and said, hey, I'm currently on the phone. Would you like to book an estimate, or how can I help you? So you're basically going to take those calls they're missing and turn them into leads and then eventually customers. You're going to put the web chat widget on the website. And what that's going to do is I come to the website and I see about us and products and services. And I've been around since 1952 and all that is very confusing. You look great, but I don't know. So I click the web chat widget and I say, hey, do you guys do X, Y, and Z? Boom, you just captured a lead for me. If you can turn that one lead into a customer, wow, that is so worth a couple $100, $300 a month recurring for life. And then reputation management. You're going to get me more 5-star reviews because every time I transact with a customer or do an estimate or go do an appointment, you're going to automatically text that person, ask them to leave a review. That's going to get me more 5-star reviews. And guess what? It's going to raise your rank on Google. So right there, we're going to talk to our customers about outcomes but we're going to use tools to implement them. But we are not, you are prohibited from talking about tools to the customer. That is not a good line. You will lose the sale there because you will find all of a sudden they're going to start asking you about software, and that's not what you want to sell. You want to sell the outcomes, not the tools.
Yeah. And that's what I think a lot of people don't necessarily always think about, is becoming that like authority figure. Like we talk about in Builders of Authority, that subject matter expert. Is you take the Go High Level technology. Charles Marks is on here as a jeweler that uses Go High Level. And I said, man, like the way in which you can craft how you're using it, other jewelry companies and other jewelry stores would love to know exactly that. And that is like a perfect use case of a model that you would never think about, right? But there's so many opportunities to make money. There's so many people out there that they just want the outcome. They don't want the widgets. They don't want that. They want the outcome.
Yeah, we have a lot of stories like that where people who start off and perfect it in their business go on, they just will do something funny. Like they'll accidentally tell another, friend or colleague who's in the same business about it. And they'll be like, wait, what do you mean? And they'll realize very quickly that there's so much value there because they've figured out how to take that tool and create the outcome. And everybody wants to buy the outcome. So all of a sudden, yeah, you can continue to grow and scale your business, but now you have a whole nother revenue stream helping other people in your industry do the exact same thing. And because of snapshots, which we can kind of go into, but just basically being able to take all this stuff you've built and package it up, it's very easy then to sell that off to other people and on a one-time and recurring basis, and also continue to give them updates as you continue to evolve things and add things that make the system better. So there's a lot of opportunity there, and we make it very easy.
Love it. So Kevin has a question. I run ads that capture leads and send to a GHL landing page. I text them if they book, and if they don't, leverage the sales pipeline and have nurture sequences. I use it for Facebook and Instagram messages. What should I grow into next?
Yeah. So, I mean, it is just a further evolution of, hey, okay, well, what can we do? So first you want to try to identify like the people that don't buy immediately. I mean, obviously, so the way I would look at it is first is looking at your original sequence. How many times are we following up? We should, we should be heavy on the text initially. We should be pulling way back into email quickly so we don't upset people who aren't buying. So make sure that journey is tight. And we have A/B testing the workflow. So please make sure we're A/B testing different flows and finding the one that's creating the absolute best outcome. And then when we're there and we say, okay, I've just sort of squeezed all the juice out of that, then the question is like, we need to start calling some of those people up and saying, well, why aren't you buying, and really understand? And let's start talking about downsell opportunities, right? Let's talk about cross-sell opportunities. What are the things that are creating the objections? Or is there an objection that's identifiable that we can move all the way up to the top? Because maybe it's a price point issue, and maybe we can come up with a product that's going to get us a lower price point to get the initial yes. It allows us to capture and convert more of those leads, and then really work on upselling those people down the funnel. So it's really about, at that point, offer optimization as much as it is about funnel optimization and tools optimization. And then from that, you can figure out, are there other things that you need to be offering or adding that you don't have right now? So definitely that's the way I would sort of think to approach it.
Love it. And what I was going to say is, because I think Kevin had wrote earlier, is that he does digital marketing for contractors. And one of the things that we've seen in our community for Builders of Authority is we turned a paid course into a free course. And so by giving away something like you were kind of talking about, is maybe it's something in that offer, not necessarily anything he's not doing, but changing that up is, if they're not ready to buy, what value can you give them right now in exchange to continue to move them along, get them into your community, understand a little bit more about what you do and how you can help them. And then from there, make it easier to transition into something paid.
Yeah. And a lot of this is about testing, right? It's like, do you put that free course at the very outset, or do you put it farther down in the funnel when you know that, your early, like, I'm super interested folks are kind of through and done. And now you're trying to come in at the end and capture the people. So it's a lot of testing. It does take a little bit of time, but at the end of the day, what you'll do is you'll dial that in. And then once you do have that figured out, the other thing is then let's go to the product we're selling to those folks and make sure we've got that optimized. Do you have 3 SaaS plans, a beginning, a middle, and a top? And do you have an ascension ladder there? How is that working out for you? And so let's just make sure that you're maximizing again on the product side as well.
Love it. So Laura says, help, mine doesn't come with a blue question mark on my login screen. It's not on my dashboard. I'm not an affiliate. I received, so I think she's on a sub account.
You are signed up under somebody else. You are not a direct high-level customer. So if you're not signed up as, if you're not my customer, I don't help you. I help the person who signed up with me. and they're supposed to help you. So if you want to sign up direct, awesome, you can do that. And I highly recommend you do, and we will help you till the ends of the earth. But if you have signed up through somebody else, you should be expecting the same thing from them. So whoever you signed up under, please go and hit those people up and make sure that they're serving you. And if all else fails and you don't think that's the case for you, please reach out. I mean, you just email me. I'm Shaun at gohighlevel.com. You can't miss me. Happy to help.
So I think that's a good kind of segue, if you don't mind us kind of going there, the difference between a sub account and you having your own account. Because I think a lot of people, so we have a lot of contractors in our community, home service based businesses, and a lot of them have used they've used Go High Level in the past, but it's been through a sub account. And so maybe they've had not the greatest support experience, right? As it kind of just mentioned. And so they look at that as the platform as a whole, but those are two completely different things. So can you explain a little bit further about what those differences are?
So when we first got started in this business, the number one thing we noticed, we were selling to small businesses directly initially. This is like 6 years ago. There are two types of folks. Most folks are like, hey, I'm really good at being a dentist or a home contractor or whatever, and I just want to go out every day and do that thing, and I'm going to work with somebody who's going to help me do that. And in that case, it's probably a marketing agency. That marketing agency is going to sign up with High Level. They're going to become my direct customer, and then they're going to bring you into a sub account. They're going to sign you up for their version of High Level, if you will, and they're going to support you. And if that is how you want to be, fantastic. That's great. But if you're like, no, you know what, I'm more advanced, I want to take this on, I'm going to be working with Adam here to take me on that journey, you need to come and you need to sign up directly, because then in that case, you're going to get all the support from Adam, you're going to get all the support from us, and you're going to be able to basically be a real sort of frontline customer. Now, you'll also get a lot more ability and responsibility to build out things and so forth. So that is kind of the big difference, is whether are you underneath somebody else that you're trying to get to support you, or are you kind of going to be doing this yourself, kind of with Adam and High Level kind of helping you do it directly in your own account.
Awesome. So she asked, can she migrate her information to be like, can she take what she's currently using from that other?
So we absolutely have a transfer process. If you go to help.gohighlevel.com, just search a sub-account transfer. There's a full process there. And again, some things we want to be really clear about is like, we respect our customers. And so the way this process works is pretty simple. You just sort of raise your hand and say, I'm interested in moving. And we have an internal process where we sort of ping the current account holder, we get permission, and then if they get permission, we're able to transfer everything over seamlessly. And I will tell you 99.9% of the time that happens beautifully. So that is absolutely a possibility. So definitely go to help.gohighlevel.com and again, search sub-account transfer. Can't miss it.
Awesome. And so as we're kind of talking about like, okay, you're taking ownership, obviously, of building out your account, right? And you're feeling maybe, hey, we kind of talked earlier, there's a lot of different things that are going on. A lot of people are looking to like hire someone, right? So, hey, I don't want to be able to do this. Talk to us about, what you should be looking for from somebody that like is a Go High Level specialist. That maybe
let me be very direct on this. You need to be going to directory.gohighlevel.com. We have a certified partners list there. These people are, we take this very seriously. They pay a monthly fee to be there, but they also have to not only do a non-proctored exam, they also have to do a proctored exam, which means someone is watching them do the work, do the exam. They can't cheat. And so we take it incredibly seriously. And so you go to directory.gohighlevel.com. You cannot miss it. Now, the big tip though, I will say, is it doesn't matter where you find somebody in life. This is like a general rule that for some reason people don't follow. You want a long-term relationship here. So talk to several people first and foremost. You will no doubt find some people you like. Ask for references. And most important part of that, call the references. Don't just ask for them and write them down. Call them and make sure you double check. I cannot tell you how many people say, well, so-and-so said in a Facebook post that they were amazing and I paid them lots of money and it turns out they're terrible. And I'm like, did you ask for references? Nope. Oh, well, there's your problem, right? So everyone can stand up and I can say, look, I'm the most amazing home builder ever, but I unfortunately cannot produce one reference for that because I've never built a home in my life. So please make sure that you treat this seriously. But if you do, you will find some amazing people who can build fantastic stuff and really help shortcut you through the process.
Absolutely. Kevin asks 1,000+ features. How do I educate myself on the art of the possible so I can plan for the future?
Great question. So gohighlevel.com/events. So all of the product managers own on the software engineering side own their product roadmaps. They have individual town halls where they present live on Zoom calls, both their current roadmap, like, hey, here's what we're delivering this quarter. Here's where we're at with it and so forth. Here's what we've already delivered. Here's what we anticipate to deliver. And then, hey, here's what we're going to be delivering next quarter. And it's not just a one-way process here. It's a two-way street. The reason for it is not just to educate you, but also to gain and gather feedback. And so you can go to all these events. You give me the product managers that you care about. We also have a monthly all customer town hall where we do this sort of a little bit more broad strokes as well. And then finally in October and in Dallas, we have our mastermind, all company mastermind kind of product roadmap release event where we talk about everything we release for the year, as well as everything we're going to release for the next year. And we always throw in some sneak peek and surprise releases at the event. So there's lots and lots and lots and lots of ways to connect with us in a very, again, not in a one-way, one-to-many manner, but like in a very personal manner where you can talk to us and, more importantly, talk to the actual people who are building that specific feature.
Yeah, it's incredible how much like content you guys have out there. And the other thing I was going to say is if Kevin, if you're not in the official high level community on Facebook, like that's a great place. I just love getting those updates and seeing those looms and kind of seeing like where things are at. Cause like, again, there's all these different ways and people are using it in so many different fashions. And if you try to consume everything and try to implement everything, you're going to end up doing absolutely nothing and you're going to be overwhelmed and just kind of sitting there. So that is, if you're watching this at all and you're not in that community, I'll drop a link to that community so that way you can go join that as well. So kind of finishing up here, I know we got about 15 minutes or so left. What are some things that if you were to give like somebody that is, we'll do two different examples, somebody that's just getting started that, hey, like just take the leap, sign up for the free trial because we have an incredible offer for our Builders with Authority community, plus the free trial, plus a coaching session with me. Give, a couple pieces of advice to that person, and then give a couple pieces of advice to the person that maybe has tried out Go High Level in the past. Maybe they're not on it right now, or they're currently not, investing as much time and energy as they should be in it. So two different examples, a couple different tips.
Yeah, sure. 100%. So, I mean, with all that value, I think you're crazy not to try this out. That's, I think that, layer on all of that with what we do. I mean, that's just insane value. So, I mean, it just feels like if you're going to embrace something, that is a good way to do it, because you're going to get a lot of fantastic help and support on how to get going and get started. And I think this actually cuts across the line. So I will say, so I wear many hats, and I have worn many hats. And one of my hats. So on the setup side, you mentioned a lot of people say, "Oh, Shaun was on my setup call." I also used to call anybody and everybody who wanted to quit, and I'm pretty ruthless. I would just call and I would say, "What's your problem?" And what's wrong with you? And what I found is that the truth of the matter is that, I mean, either you don't have customers yet, in which case there's a way to get that, there's a way to do that, or you just didn't get to value and it was a setup issue. So the reality is like, there is no way on planet Earth, I will say with, I mean, I'm biased, but I will say with confidence because I believe it, that we do not have, for the money, pound for pound, the absolute best deal out there for this type of platform. It's simply about how can we get you to value as fast as possible. And this is why we have the Zoom model. This is why we have kickoff calls where we put people on Zoom and we force you into it, whether you like it or not. Because what we found is if you just get on the Zoom call for 10 minutes with somebody and say, here's who I am, here's what I'm interested in achieving, we can get you to value very, very quickly. And the fact that, Adam is going to come in and double down and actually add on his support and his expertise, I mean, that to me is a phenomenal game changer and a way that you're going to get to value one way or the other. And if you haven't done those calls, you can still do them. So if you're still a high level customer and you're feeling like you're not getting the value or whatever, please jump into the success room. And again, if any of you feel like you're lost and you just cannot find the success room up in the top right-hand corner, contact me, email me. I will find the right person that will get you help.
Love it. Love it. And so talk to us a little bit about that person that might be, on it, not fully leveraging it. I know you kind of mentioned just dive in and help, but like talk about the person that maybe didn't fulfill what they said they were going to do. And they're off the platform, whatever. how would you recommend like diving back in?
I would say the same advice to anybody getting started. Like, what is that one thing that you feel like you need to accomplish? Just the one thing that's going to get you to enough value that you feel like you're not being taken advantage of, right? No, none of us want to feel like we're losing money. None of us want to feel like we're paying money out to something and we're not getting something back. So pick that one thing, and if it has to be two things, fine. Pick the two things, but then let's dive in and let's accomplish those two things, and let's push everything else aside. Let's not talk about or think about features that don't get us to that goal. Let's get us to those goals. And again, don't think about it in terms of features. Think about it in terms of the outcomes you're looking for. And so when you're getting on calls with our team, say, look, this is what I want to see. This is the outcome I want to get. And our team will guide you there and we'll get you there. And the good news is, I think what I find when I talk to people who've sort of been in that position, the reality is when they first came on, they got enamored with all the 1,000 features. They didn't focus in on the one or two, and they try to kind of eat the whale. And and eventually you just give up because it's just too darn big. So let's refocus on those two things, or that one thing that's going to get you actual legit outcome and value for you. And then let's make it happen. Let's get on a call and do it.
So, and I know a lot of people are probably like thinking, okay, you have all these amazing offers, all these different features. The price point makes a ton of sense. You guys are pouring into customer support and customer experience better than anybody that I know in this space, and probably in almost any industry. How is it so affordable, and how do you guys do what you do at the price point you do?
Sure. So it's our model. So we know we've always been good at being product people and engineers, and that's all we do. So we don't have a big sales team and a big ads budget. And we learned a long time ago that working with other people who understand how to help us connect our tools with people who can use them and can help us translate those tools, because it's not just tools, right? Tools are hammers and saws and nails. And sure, those are important and they're good components, but if you don't know how to actually like use them to create something, they're just not valuable. So we sort of said, look, we're going to find the people who can help us. And this is the fun part, not only build the tools that in the ways that they know they need them, but then we already know that they're going to turn around and help other people learn how to use them. Now, if you contrast that with other software companies, you would see, no, that's terrible. We don't care about other people. We want all the money and all the fame and all the credit to go to us. So we're going to run a bunch of Google ads. We're going to have a massive sales team. They're going to pound your phones until you're blue in the face, and we're going to get you to buy our products. And we could care less. And we're going to go out, and we're going to raise hundreds of millions of dollars to do it. And we're going to run a very unprofitable business. But odds be damned, that is the course we're going to take. And as a result, when the CFO looks at it, when the venture capital looks at it, when the private equity firms look at it, they say, oh my God, you guys need to charge more. So can you come up with some tricky scheme where you can get somebody to come in for $2.50 a month, and you can end up charging them $2,500 a month because of something fake and invisible, like users or contacts, which none of that matters at all. So because we took a different track, and because we worked with our customers, we partnered with them, we fundamentally have a different model than everybody else. And we just don't have all the excess spending, and we don't have the need to then take that and figure out a way to shove that down the throats of the customers who are successful. We've been able to consistently have this pricing now we haven't raised prices since inception. So 6 years and climbing, and we've been profitable almost since inception, and we are profitable today. So we don't need anybody else's money to keep the lights on here.
That's amazing. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of people, maybe they're not bait and switched per se, but a lot of people just like look at a lot of those baseline platforms that are out there, and then like, it might be cheaper up front for the one thing, right? But then they realize, oh, if we add a bunch of contacts in there, or as my business grows, that bill gets astronomical. And it's like, okay, you can find 17 different things if you actually need to like tangibly know what you're getting out of it, if you just use Go High Level. But somebody did text me a question, and I know the answer, but I would like you to ask this.
Sure.
Let's just say they're on another platform, right? In that support call, do they get help if they want to like have an apples to apples or a transfer over of contacts and things like that? They're on another platform and they want to hop on Go High Level.
Yeah, absolutely. So our team will help you move over. In fact, we've also built a lot of things where we have guides on how to do it. We even have like importers for different systems. So all the specifics, but we have a success team, and that's their goal. So the goal is like you get through the kickoff call and we kind of get you oriented and you kind of know where you're at. And then we move you to the success team, and the success team, that's their job. Their job is to say, oh, okay, you're currently using XYZ system. Great. What do we need to move over? And how can we help you do that? And they'll absolutely help you move over.
Amazing. And I just want to recap for a couple different people that were asking about different features and things like that. We got some stuff coming in on Instagram as well. And I got some Facebook messages too.
Amazing.
So like
you're able to you're doing it all at all sides. I love that. It's impressive.
LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, StreamYard, we're everywhere, but it's great for content. It's one of those things right now where we have replaced a lot of different stuff. And so I was kind of talking before you had hopped on, Shaun, like we have our courses that are on there. We have landing pages that we sell to our in-person events, and we've connected Stripe up. We have all of the automations and workflows. So we got rid of Zapier and a bunch of other automation tools. We got rid of Calendly and a couple other things that we were like sending out links and it wasn't all connected. We got rid of other funnel builders. We got rid of about $500 just in like the first week of readopting this to our new structure under Builders of Authority about a year ago now. And it's been absolutely incredible because it not just saved us money, but it works seamlessly and so much better versus having to connect all these different tools and go back. So like, even if you're using Calendly, right? Or let's say you're paying for some social media scheduler, because we use that now too. We have the AI reviews, right? So like there's 17 different things that we're now using a year in, and we've just been chipping away in the process. So just think about specific stuff that you might be using from a software standpoint. And I can almost guarantee you there's an apples to apples comparison of what Go High Level can help out.
That's great. And we probably have it on the table on our website at the bottom too, but that is a great way to think about it, because we have a lot of people where it's like, well, maybe I don't know all this stuff yet, but if I could just replace one or two of these things, I can easily pay for High Level. So I completely agree. That's a great strategy.
And Mike asked another question right before this, but Mike, I'll reach out to you. We'll schedule our one-to-one call. I already got the notification you signed up for the affiliate stuff, so I appreciate it.
Nice. Mike, on the home services side, we have custom objects coming out, which it doesn't sound like very home servicey, but it will let us start to do things like build out jobs. And so we're going to slowly move towards that. And so if you're in the home services space, definitely be on the lookout, because I think you'll start to see a lot more things that are home service specific, because you'll be able to route between custom objects. And I think routing jobs and all of that is a big deal. So I think there's going to be a lot of cool stuff there.
And so that was kind of Mike's question here, is there's integration with JobTread, which is a contracting specific builder.
If they have API, we can integrate with it. So that's always the answer to that. But we integrate with almost we honestly integrate with anything that has an API. And so I wouldn't worry about that at all. But over time, we very much are focused on adding more specific out of the box functionality for home services to continue to run their business even more. So you'll see a lot of that.
That's amazing. And I know a lot of contractors use Go High Level, and then they use the API to be able to connect into their other CRM system, or it's more of a project management system, which obviously like the two can intertwine. But that was I'm really glad, because I kind of want to end with this, because I know there's quite a few contractors that are on here, is like a lot of those other tools are like design, build, and project management tools. They're incredible. But where Go High Level connects a lot of those dots is exactly what you talked about earlier. This will help maximize your leads, make sure that you don't have the leaky bucket, and make sure that you're doing everything you can in order to squeeze more out of what you already have and then build on it further.
Totally. 100%. You'll scale your business a lot more. You'll be a lot more profitable. And honestly, for every lead you bring in, you'll just convert a lot more of those to dollars.
Absolutely. So Shaun, where is the future of High Level going?
Well, we have a lot of cool stuff coming out. We have this new concept called the AI employee that I'm pretty excited about, because we have all this AI functionality, which is awesome. We're actually about to launch inbound voice AI. And so this is, think about this like an answering service replacement almost, where, you're busy, you're out in the field, somebody calls, it rings, you don't pick it up, and then boom, you roll over. And now you have your own AI receptionist there that's going to be able to help you out. So we're going to package all this together as the AI employee, and every business I think in the future is going to have this. And the AI employee can chat with your customers, can talk to your customers, can help you create funnels, can help you write copy, can help you create images and graphics, all of that stuff. And so we're going to have continue to roll that AI functionality out in the app. To me, that's going to be phenomenal. We just launched the ads manager, so you can also run your own Facebook ads and Google ads shortly in the platform directly without having to deal with business manager and learning all that crazy stuff. So we've simplified it. So there's a lot of really cool functionality coming out that I think every small business can take advantage of.
That's amazing. It feels like every time I see a new feature, I'm like, oh, that's incredible. And then I see the next feature and I'm like when YouTube Shorts got connected in the social media scheduler recently, I was like, thank goodness. Thank goodness. This is awesome. Getting a lot of thank you, Shaun. Thank you, Shaun. Thank you first and foremost so much for coming on. I know you're super busy.
Yeah,
I know you got a lot going on, but any last pieces of advice? Any last piece of advice? Anything else that we didn't chat about today that you wanted to share with the audience?
I was going to say, I mean, just knowing what you're offering, like this is a great opportunity. If you haven't signed up, definitely sign up using this offer, because just layering in both of these sides of things, I think will radically help you accelerate, because you're going to get all the technical and software and tool support that you need, but you're also going to get all the strategy and setup and all of that you need in order to kind of not only learn the tools, but learn how to use the tools to create those outcomes. And so definitely take advantage of this opportunity. That would be my advice.
Awesome. Yeah. And just as a recap, so everybody, if you're watching this live or if you're watching the replay, we have all the stuff for the affiliate to be able to go sign up and get a free and extended 30-day trial. So you're going to get an extra trial period. You're also going to get a ton of Builders of Authority bonuses. So not only are you going to have a coaching call with me, which I'm adding in for 30 minutes. I already saw, I think we got 3 affiliates already signed up here during this hour session, which is awesome, and looking forward to seeing even more of those people, more of you all sign up as well. You're going to get another 30-minute call with my executive assistant, and then you're going to get all of the stuff that we put into our Builders of Authority community, which we sell for a pretty good chunk of change, the course, the PDF, and a month in our community to not just help you take advantage of Go High Level, but more importantly, help you understand how to go promote your business with free content that you can just do by posting on Facebook, by posting on Instagram, by doing webinars just like this. So we'll help you become the authority in your industry to your ideal clients. Thank you all for watching. I know you're all super busy. It's Friday. And if you need anything else or have any other questions or feedback, just let us know. But Shaun, thank you so much again. I know people enjoyed this.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, awesome. Well, have a good weekend, everybody. And we'll talk to you soon.